ridiculous to me, because how can someone else I don't know tell me what I'm gonna be buying or gonna like after 2 years? I think to me that's quite nonsense, isn't it? And I think that's two way of making it. For me to look at the industry, there is some forces from the new generation and new design. They doing lots of new cutting edge things, and the industry and media from all over the world, they look at it, and those influence is actually going to all this big brand. The correct with me with you don't agree with it. Go into this big brand and small brand or mass market brand, and then when the big brand release their own collection, and then they also got copies by other companies. So the trend, not the trend, I wouldn't say it's a trend. The kind of style is kind of influenced between different level of the industry, but also from the very under layer of the market, like on the street or in the daily life, the designers got inspired by daily life as well as we do research. So it's not like one direction; it's like all kind of direction. But what I believe is that for the whole world and the whole society, we have something. We have like a a way of thinking in different periods of time, like for every 10 years or 5 years, and all different kind of social events or economic events, they all influence each other.
So like a cycle, isn't it?
Like like architecture or arts or like financial crisis, they influence everyone, and it's include designer and the industry. So I would say it's kind of thinking trend, it's like C2 in Chinese. And it wasn't someone really said it, but then I know there's many, like some big manufacturer, they will sit down and they want to set something to set something like set the color, like several color for the coming 2 years, so they can get it produced in large quantity to reduce their costs. So it's create those kind of trend forecaster. I used to have a student who was working in an Italian trend forecaster company, and they actually summarize all this brand, all different kind of style. I mean, in one brand, there are so many different styles. So it's always have the mini skirt, always have the length skirt, always have the jacket, always have the white color, always have the gold color. But is it in trend? I mean, they summarize all that together in the same book. So when you open the magazine, there's like 10 different outfits from different brands have this gold color jacket. So, okay, they would say, this is gold colors in trend. But I mean, for customer, I would say with myself, I like white color, I like yellow, so I would never buy black color, even if it's in trend. So I mean, it's really something that you have to understand the need of your customer and what you want to provide for your customer. You can't, and it is something that what you like as well, because sometimes it's very hard that there's a two-way. Like one way is that you think this is your customer, you do something for them, but this is the hard way. And there's other way is that you do your own thing, you create something that you like and you make it really good, and then you have this the people who like your style coming to you. So so-called we create the trend. So do you?
So welcome, Mr. Barney Cheng. Let's give it up for Mr. Barney Cheng.
That example.
Great. Right.
Yeah, so do you have anything want to?
What are your thoughts on this, Natalie?
It's a baffling
Raymond?
subject to me. I mean, I'm not a person that. Can you hear this?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
I hate trends and fabric forecasting. But that's a whole other world, and people. I mean, if you go to Premier Vision, which is a huge fabric fair in Paris, mind-blowingly enormous, and they list all the colours, for next season or whatever it is. There's loads of colours. I mean, all the browns, all the greys. There's always
there is a
that,
lot.
I don't really know what it all means. I mean, I completely agree with you about this. And the people that are sort of banks of people deciding what colour is going to be in, and so they have to, as you say, dye all the wool and dye all the colours, and I just think it's sad, Why do we all want to look the same? We don't all want a gold jacket. Well, I quite like a gold jacket, but not with everyone. I think it's a very tragic business myself.
Raymond, yourself, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, in the past, like in the 70s or 80s, you actually control by the trend because they lead you. But nowadays, I don't think that, like even, all of us here, we don't wear the same thing, okay? It's quite personal thing, trend. But the thing is, if you're actually designing for a market, then you have to find out, what is the trend for that particular market, and then you design for that one, okay? You get the balance of, even for a lot of designers, okay, they actually did separate collections. One is for the basic, one is for the show, the other one is for sales, So in fact, they are not actually going everything, to the extreme like that, So trend is something that, that you have to really research on, okay, and it's quite personal as well.
How about yourself, Joey? I mean, in terms of because you do blogging, so it's kind of is it somewhat different to design in a sense?
I really agree with what Wayman said actually, because trend is a really personal thing actually. But then because the way I dress, I never really follow trends.
Wonderful outfit on
Yeah.
today.
You just, I just wear whatever
see
I
that.
think is beautiful, But then that's why I would agree with Raymond is when you design something, you have to know your competitor, you have to know your market. I just started my first collection, and I know I aim for the street fashion. So like I make my um, fitting is more unisex. But then, because this is my first collection, I'm learning too. But then when you approach buyers, they will be like, "Oh, I don't like unisex. Like I want to focus. Are you menswear or are you women's wear?" So I'm like learning like the rest of the students. So I think just do something you passionate about first, and then you just go with the flow.
Barney, yourself, what are your thoughts on that? On
Um,
balancing trends and
Okay,
getting
I think
inspiration?
most people here are young enough not to know who I am or what I do. So I do a lot of, basically I'm a glorified tailor. So I do custom order pieces. Mostly, I think 99% is for special occasion like weddings or divorce celebrations and stuff like that. So so I would love to call myself a fashion designer, but I'm actually more a toy phone. And so what I do for them is I make them feel good. So if you say what's a Barney Chang style, I would say it's whatever pays the bills. And obviously that's just in this room, but obviously I'm a great designer and I make people feel important. And I think that's one of the things about fashion is that we're sort of like selling or helping them achieve their dreams. And so regardless of whether it's trendy or not, the major at least for me in my business, the gauge of whether it's successful or not is whether people actually go up to them and tell them they're absolutely stunning or gorgeous, or they've lost like 10 pounds, or their nose job looks really good on them. So that I think for me is success. And like he said,
Joey.
Joey, like Joey said, it really is all about how you relate to people, and it's about being not fearful to only do what they want, because a lot of times clients really don't know what they want, and so you sort of have to put your foot down and say, okay, if you want to do that, I'll send you to someone else. It really is about having a personal style and making sure that they do at the end of the day look good. Whether it's expensive or not, that's a separate matter.
I think that, let them do the conversation first, okay? I think that, at least Charlie mentioned that, she's very good in pattern cutting, okay? And Barney said that he's actually a seafood, okay, tailor, So that means that, as a designer, okay, drawing a good picture or nice drawing is nothing, I can tell you that. Okay, especially nowadays, okay, a lot of students actually, they don't know how to draw, okay? They use computer, cut and paste, put somebody's face there, and then get a template, and then they do it. But the thing is, apart from that, you have to know the technical part. That means, the most important thing is pattern cutting. Okay, if you don't create a good pattern, okay, I mean it won't fit the person as well. So I think for the young people, especially students, okay, apart from doing your illustration, whatever, okay, learn about pattern cutting, and then at the same time know how to sew. Okay, that's important.
So it's about going back to the basics, isn't it? Really, I mean that's the key, isn't it, to developing
I think
yourself.
it's actually basics and also whatever is out there new. Because it's like 10 years we didn't really have people like Joey. I mean, they're now really
Exactly.
important. I mean, without
It is,
them,
yeah,
the
absolutely.
brands would die because then they say, "Oh, we like this," and then all their followers say, "Ooh, like,"
They all like it and they all like it and everything. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Same with fashion. It's like it's really important to learn how to sew, but then also it's like if there are technology out there, like, oh, there are like 3D printers, like, why don't we explore more about that? Because all us fogies know how to sew, so can we do something that actually you just have a computer program and you put it in there, and then there's your little bustier. That would be my dream come true, but as of yet not possible. But I think that's important.
Natalie,
Being
do you agree with that,
open
Natalie?
to
Back to
whatever's
basics and then
new and fun, and I mean, otherwise it's so boring.
no, very
I'm
true.
just interested in what Raymond said about the drawing. I mean, do you think that matters that they can't draw?
I mean,
Because
if you're in a business, okay. I mean, if you work in a company, okay, when you talk to buyers, okay, and then if they want a style, okay, and then if you actually work as a designer for the company, okay, you can't say that, hey, wait till I get my computer and then I do my sort of a cut and paste and then do it like that. You have to really, okay, sketch for them to let them know is it the right thing. They said if they said that, well, it's more or less on the line, then you can actually develop on that one.
okay, good.
Is that your thoughts too, Natalie?
Yeah, no, I was just worried about the drawing because I think everyone should learn to draw.
Right.
Even if they draw badly, I think they should all draw.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's about learning from all the basics and learn how to draw, and then really kind of evolving that kind of
They have
handwriting,
to
isn't
know
it?
how it's going to be made, and obviously pattern cutting is hugely important.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Art.
It's almost like a dying art, isn't it? I mean, pattern cutting, like fantastic pattern cutters are very, I don't know, for me,
Rare.
I believe it's rare these days. Yeah, I would say rare these days, really. Is that, would you selves agree, Barney and Charlie?
Totally agree. Yes.
Yeah, pattern cutting, I would say, is the process of creating something, designing. Is how you translate your thought into the real things. You can draw it, but then it's not totally translated because it's not 3D, you know. And all these small details you can only tell from you make it yourself by making your own pattern. Or someone really good can help you, but
Yeah, and I also find that the best designs come when you've made a mistake, and then it's like, oh wow, that's beautiful. Those are always the best.
Turn
Very
it
true,
upside
very true.
down. yeah.
Exactly.
It's very true. Yeah, no, I totally agree with Barney. I mean, what you said, it is a lot of times is about taking risks, isn't it? It's not being sort of like confined to certain spaces. Okay, so so it leads me to another question, really. Obviously, for yourselves being in the industry, one of the areas I think is really important is that how do you handle challenges? Like, for example, our industry is famously cutthroat. I mean, there's a lot of competition. If your collection is crap, I don't understand if everyone understand the term crap. If your collection is crap, you're going to get a lot of criticism from the press, buyers, etc. So how do you handle all these kind of different situations? Everyone, for example, if your collection hasn't worked well, hasn't sort of gone down well with the press, etc. Barney, how do you handle these situations?
That is the perfect question for me because being a sort of couture designer, I do really well. But being a ready-to-wear designer, I lost a lot of money, mainly because I do not have the right setup. I did not have a well thought out back office. And then I was doing the QC, I was doing the beading, I was running to India, I was chasing money, sitting at like Bergdorf's, actually it was Barney's New York, for like the whole weekend with just water and McDonald's so that they would pay me. Stuff like that. It's fun when you're young, but then when you're 40 something, obviously you don't want to do something like that. So you need to have a really good team. So what I've learned by default is that the buyers are not always right because the buyers are only worried about their bottom line, like how much your floor space is going to make them. And so sometimes they would just do things that are really horrible to you as a designer, i.e., take your design and give it to Bajli Mishka and then have it like sell it at 4 times as much. Damn, you know. But you know, hey, that is Bergdorf's, you know. So and so I think that it's really important for you to if I think most designers are like me, we're horrible with numbers. We see numbers and then we break out in hives. So definitely get a business partner, someone who knows the business well, who has a passion for fashion, and just, you know, so everyone says, oh, you know, if I'm Yves Saint Laurent, then I want my Pierre, you know, dream on. Usually just get a business person, and that's much easier than sleeping with them. So
Yeah, I agree. How about?
Joey's got both.
Yeah, I was going to ask
Background.
Joey. I mean, in terms of like, obviously because you do blogging, so you need to have an audience.